Welcome to you. Today I would like to brief you on the new National Education Policy 2020, which has been approved by the Central Cabinet under the PM Narendra Modi. We will go through the salient features of it. Here I have a chart wherein these have been detailed out. The new model of school education is one of 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. What is the structure existent now? It is 10 plus 2. 10 plus 2. 10 years of school education plus 2 years of pre-university education. But this is undergoing a change now. It is getting restructured. It will be 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. At present it is 12 years. Now if you add up, it is 8 plus 3, 11 plus 4, 15. 15 years. From where did these 3 years come? You get confused. But the chart will make it explicit. The first stage here is called as the foundational stage of 5 years. It is for children in the age group 3 to 8 years. Preschool of 3 years plus the current primary grades of 1 and 2. Class 1 and 2 put together 3 plus 2, it is 5 years. Here, education will be very much flexible, multi-level. We cater to their requirements at different levels. Play or activity-based learning, very important. Children will not have the heavy burden of textbooks, notebooks, writing. So the emphasis is on activity-based learning. So such is the curriculum and pedagogy. Pedagogy is teaching, our input. Pedagogy of early childhood care and education. Education is all over the world, and psychologists are of the firm opinion today, you can't miss children from the educational system in the age group 3 to 6. Our first standard starts from 6. Below that, it is not well systematized. A section of children go to school, some do not. They call kindergarten, they call it Montessori, they call it pre-primary, whatever it be. It's not at all universalized. It's not compulsory. But under this system, those 3 years between 3 and 6, it gets universalized and it becomes compulsory. Every child, let it be any state or any corner of the country, they should be in the school. In that particular age group, there's the most formative one. They get molded as you want. Their brain development, skill development, all these can be attended very well. This is the reason why the government has gone down from 6 years to 3 years now. Compulsory universalization of education for all children from the age 3 onwards. So this is called foundational. Here again we have divided it in 2 parts. Preschool is of 3 years, 3 to 6 years. Primary 6 to 8 years, 2 years, class 1 and 2, but it gets restructured. It will not be the kind of primary school what we have now. It's different. Okay, together you call it as the foundational. You lay the foundation for the next educational program what you have in schools. Second one, preparatory, 8 to 11 years. It is a 3-year program for children of the age 3 to children in the classes 3 to 5, grade 3, grade 4, grade 5. Altogether 3 years. 8 to 11 years. A child who comes to first standard, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, first and second standards are over, he comes to third now. By that time he is 8 years. 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11. What does he do? What do we do in schools? Experiential learning. Give experiences to children. There will be a tremendous change in the pattern of teaching in the schools. Across sciences, maths, arts, social sciences and humanities. It will not be textbook oriented, it will be experience oriented. Give them lot of activities, experiences, and this will prepare a very good setup for the child to take up the next level of education. What's that? That starts at 11 years. 11 to 14 years. Middle school now. Grades 6 to 8. 6, 7 and 8th grade. 3 years. Subject oriented. Here they will have all subjects. They go by subject they go. Pedagogical teaching, formal teaching will be there. Curricular learning, a well set curriculum they will have and they go by it. And in addition to these, we have brought in coding. Coding is where children get trained up as regards websites, apps and computer programs are concerned. Systematically all over the country, children will be subjected to the coding program. They will be taught all the required skills. So skill education too will be there because it is 21st century. We have stepped into 21st century. If you don't give children the needed training in skills, you fail. So Professor Kasturi Rangan's committee, which has put forth this report, has laid lot of stress on the requirements of the 21st century. We come to the last one, secondary. 14 to 18 years. This includes the present 9th and 10th standard levels and PU levels. But they won't be existent. This is only to compare with the previous system. We put them side by side and see where does it fit. Even now it gets over by 18 years. In the new pattern too it will be 18 years. So 4 years education. Grades 9 and 10, that's the first phase. Grades 11 and 12, that's the second phase. And PU colleges will cease to exist. They go and get merged with the school pattern what we have. Focus will be on greater depth. They go deep into the subjects, greater critical thinking, then greater attention to the aspirations and greater flexibility. So a lot of choices, everything will be there. They can select whatever they want, they need. So options will be there. Then coding will continue. Vocational education, this would have started again at 6th standard level. Vocational education too will continue here. And in vocational education too, they will have internships. 10 days internship packages. They may learn laundry work, they may learn gardening, they may learn silk farm industry, they may have practice in the agricultural fields or working with metals. You have a vast field there and government will come out with all the details. 10 days packages, they won't have textbooks or anything of the normal classroom teaching there. They will have a different kind of experience for 10 days wherein they will be learning the skills of in that particular field. That may help him to take up the vocation at the later stage, or it may just add up to the skills what he has and in some way or the other it is transferable. Now we will come to the salient features of the new pattern of education. They knew 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. Here afterwards we won't say 10 plus 2, we say 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. Model of school education. Points of special significance. Emphasis on learning in mother tongue or local language at least till class 5. Here we will not have different sets of schools in the country. For all schools in all the states and union territories of the country, the system will be the same. One nation, one system. So up to class 5, the child will have the liberty, the freedom to learn in its mother tongue or the local language. These would be decided. In course of time, everything will come in detail. He may learn the other languages too along with it. It's 1 or 2, those details will come out. He can learn English if he wants, but even children who are in English medium schools, they have to have the foundational training and the primary aspect in his mother tongue. 2. Universalization of education from preschool to secondary level. All the children in the age group 3 to 18, they should be in schools. Education is universal, compulsory for all. How it would be managed, administered, executed, all these we will have the details in the coming months. Because a lot of work will have to be done. Already the papers will be ready. Execution procedures too are ready with the government. All these will get figured out. So universalization of education. Third one, increasing public spending to 6% of GDP at the earliest. Gross domestic produces country's GDP, its 6% will be kept aside for education. Now it is almost close to 3%. So the government proposes to double it up. Global studies are undertaken before deciding all this. That tells you how much of interest the government has shown in seeing that education in the country picks up as per the requirements of the next century, this ongoing century, 21st century. 6% of the GDP. It's not in crores, figures are not given. Whatever GDP we get, out of that 6% is set aside for education. Higher the GDP, higher the educational machinery would get. Fourth, no hard separation from curricular, co-curricular and extracurricular activities. Now in schools we say curricular activities, Kannada, English, Math, Science, curricular. Co-curricular, elocution, debate, singing, music. Then extracurricular, added to this you will have something else, karate, that, this. Here afterwards, there is no separation like this, laying different amount of stress on each field. All these become a part of one holistic system. So no hard separation. All the different skills a child has to develop as a part of his personality development come as a part of the program that the child is going to receive in the school. Fifth one, Sanskrit to be offered as an optional subject for students at all levels. Sanskrit has not been made compulsory, but in all the schools over the country, Sanskrit will be introduced now. Children can opt to take Sanskrit as one of the subjects. They have the option to learn it. If they desire not to take it up, they will have the freedom to give it up. But Sanskrit will get lot of stress in school education. Provision will be there for children to learn Sanskrit all over. Sixth point, multiple entry exit to be allowed with appropriate certification. Children, even if they fall out of the system, there will be provision to bring them back. Especially now we have the 3-year degree, 3-year BSc, BA different degrees. In case a child falls out of the course, he will not be able to continue. Now it is not so. Quite interesting. Please attend. 4 years degree course it will be. After 18 years of age, the child enters into the college. It is a 4-year degree course. In the 4-year degree course, if the child gets out of the college in the first year, he need not be sorry, oh, my 1 year study has gone a waste. He will get a certificate for his study of 1 year. If he goes out in the second year, he gets a diploma. If he gets out in the third year, he gets a degree certificate. And in the fourth year, he will prepare himself for research work. And he will get trained up in research too in the fourth year, and he will be completing the 4 years course. Now in higher education, there is MPhil now. MPhil is going to be abolished. Research orientation, methodology of research will become a part and parcel of our college studies. So appropriate certification will be there, children will not lose anything. So even the child goes for 2 years for the graduation, the child will get a diploma certificate and child can be happy. So children opt to go to colleges. They won't plan out for 4 years now. They just go, attend and see how things would move. Flexibility to choose subjects of their liking in higher education. There will be a lot of options, keeping in mind the requirements of the future world. Children will be given freedom to choose. A child is very much interested in music, but parents don't allow to take up music. They say, you do your engineering degree. They force the child. Now, in the engineering college, there will be a subject on music. He can take up that subject too, and he need not regret that he has missed it. All the engineering subjects are there. Added to that, he will take up music too there. It will be entered there in his marks card too later on. So children will have a lot of option. They can study in all those fields wherein they have a lot of interest and aptitude to learn. Every child comes out of school adept in at least one skill. I told you in the 6th standard level, grade 6 onwards, they will be learning in vocational areas too. So as he comes out of the 18-year school course, 15-year course at the 18th year, his 18th age, he will be adept, he will be good at least one field of vocation. Whether he pursues that or not, that's a different matter. But we train children. Now, teaching is academic. Now from academics, you have turned attention to the vocational field, and he will have a lot of confidence as he comes out. And what he learns in one vocational field may be something transferable to another field. So vocational education has to reach at least 50% of the students in the country by the year 2025. This is what the central government has earmarked. We will move to the next. 9th, vocational education with internships for students to learn skills. I told you 10-day packages. 10-day packages will be there, and he will not attend the normal school in those 10 days. In those 10 days, he will try to master in that field where he is being taught that particular vocation. This goes back to what Gandhiji had told, basic education. Give training in vocations. That will add up to their confidence. Basic education. 10th, coding to be taught from class 6 onwards. Coding, training in computer applications will start from class 6 onwards. This is a must for children coming out of schools here afterwards. The entire world will run on a digital platform. digital applications, one ought to know whatever be the field he enters, he should be good at it. 11th, the board exams for class 10th and 12th will lower the stakes with a focus on application of knowledge instead of rote learning. Sometimes my students say, "Sir, very difficult to learn all these years in social studies." Now, in the new system of education, there will be a big transformation. The emphasis it shifts from knowledge to skills, knowledge to application, knowledge to interest, knowledge to appreciation. So less emphasis on knowledge. The most important aspect in the old system of education is that it used to lay a lot of premium on remembering. Remember. Children struggle hard day and night to remember. Again they forget. But now the emphasis has been shifted to application. Why this? How does it happen? Why this phenomenon? So the boredom too will be less, and in the examination, children will find it easy to face the tasks. It's easy to remember application aspects. We don't forget because connectivity is there. Okay. The progress cards will be holistic. Now it's based on mostly the marks children obtain in the tests and examinations. Now it will have a 360-degree turn. It will look into the personality of the child from all angles. Multi-dimensional reports. How it is going to come? We will know in the near future. But the National Assessment Center has worked it out in detail. They have done lot of work now already. New National Assessment Center, PARAK. PARAK is an acronym for Performance Assessment, P and A, or Review, Performance Assessment of the Child, Review and Analysis of Knowledge for Holistic Development of the Child. What is holistic development? Absolute, total personality development of the child. You can't just regard everything on what the child has written on the answer paper. The child is much more than that. He is much more than that. We all know, we say, but still we get back to the old examination system. There will be a lot of change in the coming days. Next, national level common entrance exams for admission to universities and higher education institutions. It is one nation, one system. The whole country will have one common system. So, national level common entrance exams, these can't be different from state to state, board to board. There will be one system. The teachers will be trained for the transformation in the assessment system by 2022-23 academic session. Now, there has to be a very big program training of the teachers to take up the new tasks. They should be able to understand and execute the same. So, training the teaching staff all over the country, it's a big job. The government has already placed the new education policy in the cabinet, and central cabinet has approved it. So when will it be executed? It requires some time. Now it has to be placed in the Lok Sabha, lower house. Then it has to move to the Rajya Sabha. Discussions have to take place. Will it be referred to some committee once again? We do not know. Then it has to go to the ministry again, from there to the President of India, and it has to be got signed. Then the training program, the entire execution part has to start. It will take some time. For last 1 year, the lakhs of educationists and experts all over the country, they have gone through the new policy, they have suggested, central government has taken all these suggestions very seriously, and whatever we do, we will be covering around 45 to 50 crore children in the country out of 138 crore people, and it's a very big exercise. We had taken up such an exercise in 1968, then again in 1986. Now this is the third one, a mammoth one. Let us pray, let's hope, let's come with all vigor to see that this new education policy will definitely romp home and see that India becomes a superpower in the field of knowledge. That is the aim, that is the hope government has. Thank you.